of fame that fingers are crossed for, but someday that's obviously the dream. But to get to learn from those type of people that that I look up to this day, and obviously definitely looked up to as a fan before, long before moving here and all that stuff, and I still do. But I've gotten the opportunity to get to learn from some of those guys, so that's been awesome, and some of those girls, and that's been incredible.
That's awesome. So new music.
Oh yeah.
Got new things coming.
We do, and I can't exactly tell you the release dates yet, but that's truthfully because I don't know them yet. So we just we've got some stuff that I'm very excited about going on, and one being, and this will be the next release that I'm a part of, and like I said, I don't know the exact release date yet, but I know it'll be early 2022. But it's going to be my first collaboration with another group, and I'm very excited about that. And it was kind of a cool thing for me because it was a song that I actually started. I was driving back from, I think, Sylvania, Georgia. I'd been hunting down there, and I hope I can say that on here, but I've been down there hunting, and I had a very long drive back to Nashville, and for some reason, I'd passed this, like grocery store parking lot, and I see all these kids, kind of gathered out there, and it just kind of reminded me, I don't know what it is about parking lots of grocery stores in small towns, but that's the hangout,
That's a real thing for sure.
But
I used to go to car shows all the time.
North Carolina.
Yeah, let's go hang out at Piggly Wiggly.
Exactly. That's what it was. Where I grew up was a Piggly Wiggly.
And all the cool people had the Piggly Wiggly shirt in high school.
Yeah,
and I was super mad.
I had a jersey. I had a jersey. I did. Birmingham Barons. The Birmingham Barons were sponsored by Piggly Wiggly, or it was one of their. So I had a Birmingham Barons jersey as a kid that I got at a thrift store. And I was super proud of it.
Right?
I was super proud of it, and it had a big old Piggly Wiggly, the big pig on the back. But
that's awesome.
I wish we were sponsored by Piggly Wiggly.
I know, right?
Hey, we should reach out,
man.
I'm lumping myself in with you. We should definitely go. We should definitely see about that.
Welcome to the family.
I appreciate it. Hey, if I can get the pig on board, I mean, let's just say. I saw that, and it reminded me. It just got me thinking about kind of how I grew up, and I remember like that aspect of it. But then I remember like this place. It was called Beer Bottle Hill.
That's a real place.
It is. It was
nice.
It is a real
Let's
place.
Go.
Let's go.
It was, but I remembered. I was just sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, man, I did a lot of dumb stuff as a kid. Like, and I wouldn't take any of it back, but I don't know how that seeing those kids in the parking lot kind of took me back to this one specific night. Yeah. But we long story short, we were out there, and they called it Beer Bottle Hill because it was basically at the top of these slate dumps. And even if you didn't have a 4-wheel drive, you would go out there, but you would have to wait for somebody like me and that would get there in a truck, or somebody with a truck or a 4-wheel drive, and jump in the back of it to get up to the top of the top of these slate dumps. And that there was like a big spot out there that people would bring firewood, and there would just be all these trucks lined up from all these little small towns around our little small town. And, I remember being out there one night, and it was just my truck was loaded down. Like there's 6 or 7 of us piled in here. And because I'm picking up like whoever I saw that needed a ride when I got to the bottom of the hill that would be waiting, like, thumb out, like you might not even know them. They might be from the other town.
Uber.
Yeah. I was a beer bottle hit. Like, so, and I'd have my friends with me, and then, I'd see that was just what you did. Like, y'all need a ride at the top.
Hop in.
And they would jump in. So we would just be stuffed in there, and there'd be like, everybody would have like their coolers with them, and sometimes there'd be so many people, like whether in the back of the truck or in the truck just to get up the top of this hill, there'd be coolers in back people's laps in the back seat, and all this stuff. And I started writing this chorus while I was driving, but I do remember it because one night it was one of those, like, there's the truck bed is loaded down with people and coolers. My truck is loaded down with people and coolers, and I was the designated driver that night. So that's all well and fine, but a friend of mine who was also supposed to be a designated driver, he got a flat tire.
Oh,
and we were still out there we were still out to have a good time. Don't get me wrong. Like we're out hanging out, these, a lot of these people we know and stuff, but regardless, like, I had church that next morning. Like, this is a Saturday night. I'm expected in church, and which is fine. Like, I'm gonna be like, all right, yeah, we're just gonna go out here. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna drive everybody home, and because we all, most of us, especially everybody that knew each other, it was a very small town, so it wasn't gonna be out of the way to take somebody home and stuff, and everybody just kind of was friends because of that place, and but my other friend that was driving and was the designated driver for his truck, he caught a piece of glass and got a flat tire. And at this point it's 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and I've got to go home to my house. I got to drop all these people off along the way, take him with me, because I'm like, hey man, I've got a tire patch kit, and we can get my dad's air compressor, and we'll come back out here, patch your tire and fill it up and everything like that. Because I know good and well you got to be at church where I do in the morning. Like, we've grown up together and we've known each other since we were kids. And I know that you're going to be in as much crap as I am if we don't show up tomorrow. So let's go get this done. And I get back to my to my house, or my parents' house, and which is obviously my house. I was just a freeloading teenager, obviously, like all the other ones.
Technicalities.
Just technicalities. But
my roommates.
I got back and I found a tire patch kit, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Got the tire patch kit, but I couldn't find the air compressor in the garage. And I mean, I looked for it for like an hour.
Wow.
And it was a big garage. Like, it was a big garage. Like, it was not connected to the house. It was like a big metal building, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And about an hour in, I felt like an idiot, but it dawned on me, like, oh, the neighbors borrowed it. And I knew that I used to cut grass for them, and so I knew him, and I'd actually dated the daughter at one point, so I knew him well enough to have their number. And I didn't know him well enough to be calling at 4 a.m. or 4:30 or whatever time it was, going, hey, I got to come get that air compressor. I'm sorry to wake you up and everything like that. But I did. And either way, long story short, we got it, and we were able to actually patch his tire, get the air compressor, and do everything like that. But I mean, I remember the sun was already coming up as we finally got back to his truck, and we're getting this done. And I remember both of us like having to just basically, once we patched his tire, drive straight to, like, because the church we both went, it was probably 20 minutes away. And even though, both of us that night particularly, and I'm not saying every night, don't get me wrong, but those nights, both of us were particularly, like, supposed to be the designated drivers, which we were. But I assure you, we did not look like it going into that church Sunday, but like, still coming in late, trying to sneak into the back row of it, smelling like fire, like a bonfire, looking like we hadn't showered in, 2 days, because we probably hadn't, probably smelled like alcohol just from being around it. So, but it just kind of took me back to that. And this, title came to my head called Hellraisers in Heaven. And it just, like, kind of, the chorus just kind of came out while I was driving, and just, I remember just putting it in my voice memos as I was driving, just kind of like the ideas and things that were coming to me, and wrote it to be kind of an acoustic thing, just about where I grew up, and this group called the Lax, which I believe is from Georgia, heard it, and they kind of fell in love with it, and they're like, would you like be open to us doing that and like
Wow.
having you as a collaborator on that song? And
That's amazing.
and I'd never done anything like that. And
Yeah.
it was just something I kind of prayed about, and it felt right, and it was really cool. I think they believed in the song as much as I do, and I think they related to it as much as I did. And so we just got done shooting a music video for that
Nice.
a couple weeks ago.
Is that the one you've been teasing on Instagram?
It is. It is.
Nice.
So I'm very excited about that. And those guys, that was actually the first time I've ever met them. So this was all like
That's cool.
their
Blacks
team.
are pretty rowdy.
Yeah, they are. Well, they apparently are. But I will say this, in person though, they're so nice and down to earth and just laid back. And it was really great to get to meet them and everything. And it was a little strange being the first time I met them was at our music video at the music video shoot for our song. But thankfully they're such nice guys that it didn't feel like I didn't feel out of place or feel like I was intruding on anything. And they made all of my team feel at home and made me feel at home. And we had a blast shooting the music video for that. And all I can say is early 2022.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
I can't wait for everybody to hear that one.
Yes. Q1.
Another one.
There it is.
So we do a segment, Tales from the Bar.
Tales from the bar.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Wait, how do we say it? How do we say it before?
I mean, we got a tale
That's it.
from Beer Bottle Hill,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beer Bottle
That's
Hill
true.
kind of wins.
which would be a bar in
Should
county
we do
terms.
like a reminisce Tale from the Bar?
like
I have
a
a good
throwback?
one. Yeah, I have a good throwback.
A
for you.
throwback tale from the bar. What
Yes.
year?
Oh God, I was in high school.
What?
Oh.
High
Yes.
school.
Honey, I started drinking in junior year, okay? And I went to an all-girls private high school.
Wow. Slow down, hard charger.
Yeah. We had to be a little rebellious. Sorry, Mom and Dad, if you're listening to this.
Yeah,
I
was
wasn't
worried about
actually
saying I
at my
went
friend's
hunting
house.
earlier, and here we are.
Yeah,
We're
she's
diving
like,
right into the thick of it. Let's
There
go.
we
Nash
go.
Vegas.
All right.
So we used to have this thing
When you were in high school.
when we were in high school. So I went to, I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, and then there was an all-boys like Catholic high school.
This is exactly a recipe for disaster. This is
So,
Forrest Gump, isn't it?
It's kind of. We'll get there. But so we of course we did a bunch of things together. Like when I was on cross country, ran cross country with them. We trained with them, did all that stuff. Anyway, so we would have wood boo parties. That's what it would be called. Wood boo. WOODBOO. Wood boo parties. You would pack all your Four Locos.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is what we drank. Four
Didn't
Locos.
they ban those?
Yeah,
I don't know,
people die
probably.
from
I'm
those.
sure
Yeah.
now because let me tell you.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you a shirt.
Poison.
I'm gonna
The
get you a
first
shirt that
time I
says
was
Four
ever
Loco
drunk.
veteran.
Jeez.
Please do.
Survivor.
I survived Four Loko.
Four
Yes.
Loco veteran. Nash Vegas. It's
Yes.
a t-shirt.
Oh, man.
Yes. So, anyways, we would have these wood boo parties in the middle of the woods, an abandoned house. There was a pool. It was very abandoned.
What?
And yes, so we would go and have raves in this empty pool in the middle of the woods at this abandoned house.
Time out. What? A pool is not always clean.
Oh, I'm not saying it was.
Did it have water in it?
No, no.
tadpoles.
There was no
Okay,
water
it
in
was
it. So it was
an
an empty pool.
Okay, there's a basin.
It was a hole in the
Just
earth.
the-
It was
Yeah.
a hole in the
It
earth.
was our
Okay.
own venue for our own raves that we threw.
It was a skate park.
Yeah.
Pretty
Kind of.
But at night it was a drink park. So
A wood boo.
wood.
Wood boo.
I'm
Weird.
spilling all the secrets. I don't even know if the high schoolers still do that now, but
What? How
Well,
did they get
if
the
they
name?
do,
Wood
they-
boo?
I
you
cannot
just
tell you.
got
It
'em
was
all
just a thing.
caught.
We would just go into you literally would have to find it because it was on the road and you're in the woods, obviously. And you'd have to find the insert to get in, right?
Mhm.
The entrance. And then you go in and there's a bunch of cars. And then this is the first time I ever got drunk. And I was I remember just taking pictures of everybody. I was like, oh my God, let's capture this moment of me being drunk. Of course I told my mom, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to a friend's house. Little did she know I was getting drunk in an abandoned house.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
With
That
your
is-
Yes.
with your
With my Four
MySpace
Locos.
with your MySpace top 4, 8, top 12, or
MySpace wasn't a thing then.
was it past then?
Yes,
Okay,
it
so
was.
It was like
that's
Facebook.
me and showing my age. All right, well
Yes,
we don't
yeah.
have to.
I wasn't allowed.
We'll
I didn't
cut
have a
that part.
MySpace.
That's I
Yeah.
was a big fan of MySpace.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that the 50 songs that I would have on my like people would come to my profile and listen to my whole playlist that I had on there. So yeah, I put a lot into my MySpace.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you learned HTML. That's
I did not have that. So Dan, what about for you? What's your
a throwback tale from the bar.
tale from the bar? Mine was
Man.
pre-bar,
Nervous,
so you
man.
can
This
do like
is-
a pre-bar if you weren't of the age.
Well, here's a little secret. I didn't really do a lot of drinking before I was 21.
Hey,
You
salute
know,
to you.
know
I
what?
was
Good
a
for
little
you.
good guy. And
Good for
then
you.
but
Way
I
to not
will
give in to peer
say
pressure.
a tale from the bar. Man,
Or it could have been from like last week. That's still reminiscing.
Well, I will say, how about the time that I accidentally snuck in to the NFL draft party?
Oh,
That's a good one.
accidentally.
How do you accidentally sneak into an
Yeah.
NFL draft party?
Well,
That's Nash Vegas right there.
that's
Let's go.
this is Nash Vegas. Let's go.
Yes.
So the
Love
NFL
it.
draft is going on downtown,
Mhm.
and
How many people were there?
like the bajillion. It was like honestly, it was like 300,000 or 400,000, something
Yeah, it was
absolutely
big.
ridiculous.
All the people.
Got a record for it.
So we're walking down and we start seeing the crowd,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, man, I'm not getting to Broadway. So let's
Yeah.
just park it at FGL House.
Sure.
So we get to the FGL House, and unbeknownst to me, the stairs that I'm used to going to
Mhm.
on like the right side had been cordoned off for certain people.
Mhm.
But I didn't realize that. We just walk in like we were walking in.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need
And,
to get Nash Vegas press passes, by the way.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
We could get away with a lot, probably.
I would have been able to get to the CMA Awards after party.
I get to the top of the FGL House, and there's like this curtain that's not usually there.
Mhm.
But I was just like, oh well, I didn't think anything of
Whatever.
it. I was like,
I'm just still
probably
gonna
go
go.
behind
hopping on
this.
in.
It'll say like do not enter and be like, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're okay.
I'm a regular.
Yeah.
This is for everybody else, not me.
I'm here to see Timmy. He's got me a drink ready.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I am the first draft pick. I am the first round draft.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
get the first draft beer of
Yeah,
the
There
night.
it is.
That's right. I'm gonna
That's
pick the
hilarious.
first draft, and by that I mean I want a PBR
Yeah.
on draft.
Right.
Wow.
$4.
So we get there and we go up to the bar, and this is where we're really kind of confused because we order our first round, and he was like, you know, no pay. I'm like, no pay. Yes, pay. You know, like,
We're
what
not
do you
used
mean
to
no
this,
pay? And they're like, no, you're here. I was like, oh,
Of course I am.
very good.
I knew that.
Still confused at this point. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then like some
Like, this
people
is
come out on
new?
the stage, and it was like, here guys, we've got Marcus Mariota coming out soon, so
Wow.
you know, just hang tight. And
Yeah.
we're like, the fuck is happening?
What is he doing here?
And
What
we-
is
and
he
then,
doing at my draft
you know,
party?
I've done
Oh my
promotions
gosh.
and been in music and done this stuff for a while, so I've like I start looking around to see some like basic cues on what the hell's going on, and I start noticing credentials, and I'm like, okay, there's this on this wrist, and there's this on this lanyard, and I'm like, we ain't
We
got
don't have-
shit.
Hey, but you got a free drink.
We were blissfully unaware to the point
Completely.
where we had no clue anything was wrong. So that confidence, they were like, they obviously belong here. They
Yes.
just walked right in
Yeah.
here like they own the place.
Straight up, we're in the
Man.
It's all
first
about the
row.
confidence.
First row, because we didn't want people to see our wristbands, so we were doing this
Yeah, looking very
on the
stern.
first row.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're going through the program, and we kept drinking. We just
Yeah.
do one person at a time to go to
Sure.
the bar to make it like cool,
Seem legit. yeah.
kosher.
Mhm.
And so it was finally my turn,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting there, and these guys are having a big time on my right, and they're coming in to get some drinks. So naturally, I kind of just scoot over to be, the kind fella that I am.
Mhm.
And turns out the guy beside me was the dude that hosted the party.
Perfect.
Nice. At
as-
least you let him get a drink. That was
Well,
kind of you.
Well, that turned out very well for me
Yeah.
because he then he tells, turns out I'm the COO of Marriott Hotels.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
And I was
Nice.
like, cool, man, you want a drink?
You want to take a shot? Let's be friends.
And we became like quick buddies. And he was like,
Heck yeah.
hey man, you want to meet the MVP? The
Yeah.
Blanken, Kansas City.
Mahomes?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Sorry.
Stop.
And I was like, yes.
Be like,
Not
like-
even.
let me think about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you at least like try to play it like you weren't impressed? Like, I mean, yeah,
I'm
I
kinda
guess I
pressed
could
for
squeeze.
time.
Yeah, I guess I could squeeze. I mean, if he
Yeah.
really wants to meet me,
Like
I
in the
think I
next
could.
5 minutes.
I wish I was that cool,
You know,
but
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I wasn't that cool at all. I mean, I was like,
Well, you had to be
Yes.
at least some level of cool to just walk
Yeah.
in there, just
making friends with the
brazenly walk in
COO,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, and just be like,
it's
Hey,
all
man,
Dan's
you
a
wanna
coincidence.
good people person.
It's all coincidence, but sure enough, he says, "Do you want to meet Patrick Mahomes?" And like a
Right.
proper football fan that I am, I said, "Yes,
Yeah.
yes, immediately." And
Take me to him.
take me to him. I'm
Take
not
me to
drunk,
my
but I'd
master.
love to meet him. And sure enough, we skipped the entire line. There was a line of
up.
people. And he brought me up right up to Patrick Mahomes, was like, "Hey,
This is
picture."
Dan.
Yeah, this is Dan. I'm like,
This is my good friend.
all right,
we go way back.
And
we go way back.
About
I look
38
at
minutes
Patrick
ago.
Mahomes and I was like, "Man, you kicked my ass at fantasy."
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he had a big laugh, and that
What a
was,
great
that was,
story.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
yours
following.
We ended up
definitely
getting
win
kicked
so
out.
far.
I'm not following that.
You did get kicked out?
Yeah, we got
By
found.
who?
About an hour and a half later, I guess we had just been like two.
You were like going crazy,
Yeah,
had the hands up, and you're
and they're
like,
like, "Where's your
"No
credentials?"
wristband.
And we're like,
where's the wristband?
"We don't have any."
That's incredible.
I haven't been like, honestly, I've had my like
Yeah, I'm
share of
good.
fun. Like,
Thank you.
it's so
Thank you.
fun. Like,
Yeah.
kick me out,
Yeah.
please.
I've
Take me.
100% crashed an NFL draft party.
Man,
That's
That's
amazing.
superstars.
Wow,
That is
cheers to
absolutely
you.
awesome.
Cheers to you.
That was with Chappie, by the way. Ask Chappie.
Chapelicious.
Wow, I love Chap. I
El
was just with Chappie
Chaparino
earlier,
knows
actually.
about this because he was there.
That's incredible.
I love that.
So
Man, to be a fly
tales
on
from
wall
the
for
bar.
that.
All right,
Yeah, I got
Trent.
nothing. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
even gonna play that game.
He's like, I can't even top that.
What up?
I've
That
never been
means-
to the bar.
That means he's got the best one
Yeah.
of all of us.
I
By the
really
way,
don't.
is what
Like,
that
nothing
means.
Can top.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip it. I got nothing. I
I'll
don't have
take
any
it.
Patrick Mahomes or
Tales from the bar.
Oh man, that's well, there's a lot to choose from. I'll tell you this because it's from back, like it was a back home thing. And so I dated this girl from California for a while, and I was like, I wanted to, take her back to where I was from, and we'd been dating a while, and I was like, hey, you gotta come, meet my friends. And mind you, I'm from a very small town in Alabama,
Mhm.
and so my friend Stump, and
whole stump.
yeah, Stump, and that's not his legal name, but I've had known him for years at that point, and I don't see him as often,
Mhm.
obviously, but I still don't know his legal name. That's Stump.
Oh, wow.
I've never heard him called anything else, but I know for sure that's not his legal name. But
I know a guy like that. We call him Catfish.
yeah, so most of the bars, if we had bars around where I grew up, they were river bars. And I don't say this is a bad thing because I am one of these people, but river people are a different breed, man. like, and I grew up on that river, so I can say that, but they really are. And there was this his favorite thing to do until he got banned for life, or until he replaced the jukebox, would be
gosh.
to flip tables.
Wow.
Love that.
And so
Stump the table flipper.
Stump was flipping tables, and that's what he did. He would, we would all be in that bar doing the same thing as far as but it led him to flipping tables, and not in an angry way. Like he wasn't mad. Like he wasn't mad and angry. Like this place is ridiculous. Like, no, he was having the time of his life in flipping tables. Like that's just what he loved to do. And they knew that, they're like, oh, Stump, you're one shot away from flipping tables again. Like they would know it going in. And but
Stump, we've got these extra durable tables
Yeah.
for you for Christmas.
but here this girl is from Sacramento, California, and it's raising a Catholic family, very very Catholic upbringing, very
very not table
very
flipping.
non-table flipping, and I guarantee you not a one of them knew anybody named Stump. But so I'm like, oh, you got to come meet my friends from back home and see where I grew up and everything. And so here Stump goes to flipping tables. But that night he flipped a table into the jukebox and it broke the jukebox. And that's why they were like, you're banned for life until you can until you replace that jukebox.
That's
so
nice. Stump, do you need a GoFundMe? How's the jukebox going?
Oh no, he replaced that jukebox and he is probably well, no, not tonight, but because tonight's what's that, Monday? Okay, so I guarantee you the night before last he was in that bar flipping tables, just having himself a time.
Does he have an
Can you
Instagram?
imagine just walking in and like,
It's
oh, I'm gonna go grab a
majestic.
drink?
I gotta say, it's majestic. So shout out to Warrior River, Alabama, for raising us up to flip those tables, and shout out to Stump. Hope you're doing well, man, and I hope you're still winning. I hope you're winning the war with those tables.
I'll tell you right now, Stumpy, you hit another jukebox, I'm gonna come down there and I'll whoop out that ass.
That's so funny.
That's
you don't mess with the
I feel
music.
like we need to bring him to Nashville.
That would be the only way to get him there. How big are you?
How big a boy are you?
How big a boy are you? He'd be on the way.
That's great. We love you, Stump. Thanks for flipping tables.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, flip
For
more.
sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a video.
I promise.
Me
Nothing's
too.
stopping.
Me
us.
So like he would like make sure a lot of things are on the table, then flip it, or
No, he was very polite about
He
it.
just like
okay.
No,
Very
he was very polite
Just
about
like
it.
that.
Nothing on it, just
Remove
wanted to
your
flip a
drink.
table.
Yeah, and he wouldn't warn you or anything. He would just smile at like. It was like there was
love
this
that.
like everybody. I think everybody's got that line of when they're drinking and some people it depends on what they do. Like, but when he got over that line, like it was very he would just smile. Like he would just get quiet for a second and just smile really big. And he wouldn't run over or be angrily walking towards a table, but he would find like if there was a table that nobody was sitting at,
It needed a proper flipping.
it needed a proper flipping, and he would go flip it and that was it. It
Table
wasn't
looks a
like
little
I said,
lonely.
it wasn't angry, and he'd just be like, I mean, he just flipped like it wasn't even. And then
Does the place have a busboy? But I bet he loves him.
Well, the funny thing about it is he made it more work for himself because he would go flip a few of them if the all the tables that nobody was sitting at and all the tables without stuff on it. And after he finished flipping all those tables, he would go back to where he started and put them back up right. But like it was just I don't know. Yeah,
He was
exactly.
polite.
Yeah, but
He played with a lot of Legos
he
growing up.
enjoyed the heck out of it, man. And it like he really came alive flipping those tables. But I think that's why they were okay with like they because A, it wasn't out of anger, and B,
It's just funny. At that
he
point.
he
That's
just
funny.
It
eventually
is funny.
like before anybody needed those tables, he would put them right back the way he found them,
Like,
wipe them
there
down,
you go.
wipe them off.
What if we could get a
Tip
video
the
set up?
That
bartender.
is so fun.
Oh yeah, sure. It's the hot Thanksgiving and Christmas were coming up. I'll be back around the house.
We need
all I
this
have to do is
video.
all I have to
We
do
need
is
this
take my
video.
phone with me and go to
The
one
idea
of the
that-
two river
Video.
bars and
If we-
you'll be there flipping those tables. I
I
bet.
love it.
Here's the
Incredible.
idea: if we get two folks that's never been to that bar, and then we'll get Stump staged up to go to the table they're sitting at, and he'll just have to say something along the lines of "Me Stump flip table," and then
So remote
See how it
podcast on
I
a
don't know
table.
about
You
that.
said-
No,
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
we're not messing up equipment for this.
Well, it just I feel like they would know,
Yeah.
if there were outsiders that walked in. Those movie scenes where somebody walks
Like
into
Tombstone.
like something
Yeah.
like that, and then the out of town guy walks
You
in.
ain't
and
from around here, are
Yeah.
you?
That's exactly what you
Yeah.
know.
You don't
Well-
smell right.
You gotta flip a table in it. Which car is yours? So
Yeah.
he'd be
I
very
swear to
polite
God,
about
I
it. He'd
ain't
be like-
driving the Prius.
He'd be like, hey, mister, which car did you drive? And then he'd flip the table onto your car, shake your hand, and be like, I'll get that when I'm done.
Flipping tables.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he's there's a lot of characters like that where I grew up. But,
Got any shows coming up?
man, we just actually got done. We just got back from Georgia. We played his this is my friend / tour manager. Sometimes when he can, this is Sonny Blevins here, but he owns a venue in South Georgia called Terminal South in Tifton.
Very cool.
I've been there.
And we played that we were playing there this weekend, and he came back, jumped on the bus with us, rode back, and we walked off the bus. And basically walked off the bus, hopped in the truck, went to the Titans game. So
fun.
Great game.
Yeah, it was great. But we've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff this year, man. We got to play this festival called Rock the South near my hometown area in Coleman, Alabama, and that was something that I'd attended as a fan years before before I'd ever even moved to Nashville. So that was, something that was really kind of a full circle show to get to play. And I think I'm going to do, a couple of just writers rounds around town. Maybe I'm going to try to squeeze at least one of those in before, holiday break. But until, probably
where do you
until
usually play those
2022.
writers rounds at?
You got like Chasing Melodies, you got Whiskey Jam, you got there's all kinds of them.
Yeah, I did done Live Oak, and I don't know if I've done. I don't think I've done local yet. I've done. I don't know, wherever they let me come. Usually, whoever asks and whenever they'll let me show up. Honestly, and I'm in town to do it. But no, I think I might. I'm gonna make sure I'm able to do it, but I might get to do one next week at Live Oak. I think is where it was at. But I did one at the 1230 Club recently. I was in town, and I actually had a really good friend of mine and co-writer that I write with a lot. Had asked me to do this writers round with him. I was like, absolutely, I'd love to. Love playing, and he's actually basically been my band leader for like 4 years, and he's doing really well in town and stuff like that. And super proud of him. But his name's Caleb Lovely, and he's kind of a Swiss Army knife of people, but he does all the things. But I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. And then I'd gotten asked to do another one that same night, and I was like, I can make that work. And so I went and did the one with him. We had a blast, and then we all went to the other one, but it was at the 1230 Club, which I'd never been to or anything. And
swanky place.
It was very swanky. It
the
was
rooftop
very swanky.
now.
It was very nice and very it was very cool. And they've they've definitely put a lot into it, and it was actually a really cool place. But I will say the MC, it was the funniest thing ever, because the MC there that night, and I don't know if he's a usual guy or if he was just for that night, but it was the funniest thing ever, because he completely mispronounced my name when he was introducing us, butchered it, it was kind of funny. I mean, and the second thing was funny too, but at the end of our set. And mind you, one of the other people on the stage. How do you mess up
your name?
Elmer. Elmer, like the glue.
God bless.
And so, but that wasn't even my favorite part. So we play this. We play our round or whatever, and the girl that was one of the girls that was in the round with me is a writer, but also an artist as well. And the other guy in the round, I'd never met him before, and he'd played a lot of really great songs. I don't know if they were if he's an artist or not, or if he was just doing the writing thing, but he had a lot of great songs as well. But it was really funny because I know for a fact the girl that was playing with me is an artist as well. And it was just kind of funny because, I just talked about earlier that full circle moment show for me where we had done, we got to do Rock the South. And this was like a week after we were at Rock the South, it one of the biggest music festivals in Alabama. And it was very cool that we got to play there, but it was just kind of funny because then I'm doing this writers round, and I know this girl is an artist as well. And the MC that totally butchered my name comes back up, and he gets on the mic, and he's like, Now, y'all give them a hand. You'll never see any of these people on a stage ever again. These are the writers behind the songs that you hear. Once again, you'll never see them on a stage.
Wow.
So,
Stop. What?
and I was just like, you can't do, like, I'm sitting there cracking up, but I'm like,
Gosh.
well, I guess I'm not allowed to play music anymore.
You'll
That's-
never see these on the stage
But
again.
he like made an emphasis on that.
Like
it
twice,
sounds
like he was so confident that like, and I'm sure, like, I know it wasn't, you know, because he was a
projecting.
super nice guy, or he seemed like a super nice guy. I don't really know. I couldn't
Dang.
really find out more about him because I was really laughing so hard, but mostly just because you know, my manager sitting over here, my band leader that I just played a writer's round with, his wife, like both of their wives, and all of them were, you know, they go out on the road with me all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I just looked over at them and they're cracking up, and like I'm dying laughing. But he went back in for seconds too. He was like, once again, never. Like, even if
Maybe
there's
he
a
was like-
fire ever again, I'm like, well, I guess we got to cancel all the rest of our dates. But so, anyways, long story short,
After
that's
this
actually
show.
that's actually why after this past weekend, I'm you know, taking the holiday, like taking Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Yes.
and we're gonna wait to see if we're allowed back on
Oh,
stages
that's
in
funny.
2022
That's
just
funny.
by his standards.
That's
Jeez.
really funny.
That is so funny.
It was really funny though. But
Dang.
that place was actually really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. We've done a couple collabs with them.
Yeah.
So we love them.
Shouts to
We love 1230.
Shouts to
Yes.
1230.
Yeah.
Shout outs to 1230 and the MC if he's still there.
Yes.
That's so funny.
So do you have any personal shout outs you want to give out? Friends, family, anything like that?
Well, obviously, Stump, thank you. I didn't
Hey.
plan on
Shout
coming
out
on
to
here
Stump.
today
love
and
Stump.
talking about
Flipping
you
son of
or
a-
the River Bars.
Stump.
But you know, honestly, I just got to thank everybody that's, you know, really been in my team. I mean, honestly, there'd be such a long list of people in it, and it's especially at the level I'm at now, to where there's still not a label and stuff. So the reason I'm able to, you know, be doing this without that behind us yet is seriously the team members, you know, I have around and or that I've been blessed to be able to have around, and some of those people were, you know, day ones that believed in me enough to get me here, and you know, so shout out to Rhett Akins, and shout out to you know, somebody that helped me a lot through knowing him, Lisa Bolt. Shout out to Brian Davis. Write a lot of stuff with him. He produces a lot of our stuff.
Brian's awesome.
Oh, you know Brian? Yeah, Brian's
we did
great
a trip
people.
down to Camp Southern Ground together.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that that was like kind of recently, like maybe within the past like couple years, right?
Couple years.
Yeah. I think I remember him telling me a little bit about that. But oh man, you know, family obviously huge support from my dad, and you know, my mom before she had passed, and everything, was always a support of everything and that I ever did, and my dad too. But after we lost mom, I think he doubled his support. Like he's making up for. So shout out to him. You know, he's driven us to show after show after show. You met him.
Yeah.
He drove.
We love
He was
Mr. Paul.
Paul. Now he's a total liability to have on the road, and and I hope
actually like the first time I met Murphy was because of his dad, and he was getting drunk at my bar, and he was like, "Oh, let's go take a picture with Murphy." And I was
that's
like,
exactly
do
what
it.
I mean. Exactly.
And I was like, sure.
Can we get Paul and Stump together?
I love Mr. Paul.
I'm
Would
pretty
love
sure
that.
they've met. Yeah, for sure. But that's, you know, that would be the interest. Like they would be very more interesting probably than I would be to have on somewhere like here. But then you would have to know my dad. Like my dad's never gonna forget you and will message you all the. You know, he's gonna be your best friend. But
That's great.
he's great,
He's
and he is such a huge fan. But like I said, he is a total liability, and I've tell him that all the time. So I'm not talking smack behind his back, but I also know very well that I you know, a big part of even where I am right now would not happen without him or parents like I had, and just the blessings that I've been very, very blessed, and obviously there's, you know, work that goes into it, but I have been blessed with a lot of opportunities that you know, a lot of people didn't get that also still that are, you know, killing it, and that's great and stuff. But so if, you know, I'm sure there are a lot, because there's a lot of people that have helped me every inch of the way before I got here in the last 7 years of being here. So if I didn't, you know, just off the top of my head, there's a lot of you, but I love you and I thank all of you, and I appreciate, you know, I appreciate everybody.
That's awesome, man.
Amazing.
Awesome.
And I'll tell you, it's been fantastic having you here today
Absolutely.
and learning about you. It
I
just
really
sounds-
appreciate y'all
Yeah,
having me.
of
Thank y'all
course.
so
Yeah,
much.
just
Amazing story, man.
Great
Yeah.
story.
Congratulations.
Really humble. Just,
Yeah,
you're
dude.
so
Go
thankful and
listen.
so much gratitude. And that's
Yeah.
great because we're going into Thanksgiving and
Yes.
That's
what a
it.
great
Absolutely.
attitude to have, man.
Well,
So,
it's like I said, man, and I really am thankful to be here. And you know, I look at this as like, even with you guys, this is taking a chance on me, and
Absolutely.
Definitely, man.
that's
Happy
always
to.
something that means the world to me. So
Mhm.
once again, I can't thank y'all enough for having me.
Of course.
sure thing.
Well, that's what
Kristen,
Nash Vegas is all about, man.
what do we
Wow.
got next? What's who's our next interview?
So we have Chase Matthews,
Okay.
next
Yep.
guy up.
Next
And then we have
guy's
Trey
up,
Lewis after him.
and then
So
Trey Lewis.
Yep.
So keep on the horn. We've got some more interviews coming up here at
Yes.
nashvegas.com. And just want to
stay
give
tuned.
another thank you for coming out today
Mhm.
and telling us about Stump and your music and the good all the amazing
Yes.
things that you're doing and
All the
can't
good
wait
things
to
to
see
come.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the good things that
I'll,
come. So
I'll get that video of him flipping those tables for y'all. But
We would love it.
I
We
really,
gotta see
I really
that,
do
yeah.
appreciate y'all. I really do appreciate y'all having me, and y'all give Trey a hard time when he gets here for me.
Oh, we definitely will.
Absolutely. All right.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Jeez. Oh, that was good.